to let everybody know where they can see us at. We're on our Facebook page. We're on Twitch, and we're also on what's the other page? YouTube. Boy, couldn't think of it. So, but if you're watching and you want to see a feed, go to our website, WSAN Radio SA, and just scroll down halfway through the page, and you see the live feed on there. Now, let me hit this coach up with something I read the other day. Man, I was blown away when I read this. Let me see. Do I still have it up? That's the key. Man, what did I do with it? See, this is my fault, Coach K. Okay, here it was. Somebody said something about exercising in the heat. And it states right here, exercising heat requires extra precautionary actions, prevent heat-related illness. Key strategy include exercise during cooler parts of the day, stay hydrated, wearing appropriate clothing, and recognizing early warning signs of heat exhaustion. I'm going to get back to wear proper clothing. Now, you probably figure out what I'm going where with this. All right. Okay, you ready? Ready, Coach K? Oh, I can't hear you. You there? Why is it I can't hear you? Oh, something ain't right here. You're not coming in. Is your mic on? Oh, it's hard to get an opinion from somebody that's silent. What is going on? Let me try this. Okay. Take yourself off mute. I still can't hear you. What is going on here? Let me check something. Okay. Boy. Well, I tell you what, it's something else. We're trying to get things done right. Let me check here. I got you right there on audio. Huh. Let me try one more thing and see what's going on. Gotta love all this is coming in. Let me see here. I don't know why I am not hearing you. Let me find out why. Come on.
You thought June 28th was off?
Okay. I think it's on your end.
The chain? Well, get ready, because Coach K of Wanna Go Fit and Ms. Trish of Devoir Fitness are back for part 2 of the karaoke line dance party. Mark your calendar, July 26th from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. 1208 FM 70.
Okay, you may have to log out and log back in again. Okay, try that. All right, while she's doing that, we'll do things on our end, right? I just had an interview this morning. It went perfect. Well, there's no such thing as perfect. There's only one person that's perfect. That's God Almighty. But it was close to that. Put it that way. Okay, I hear the chime in right there. So let's see what we got going on. All right, say something. Now I can hear you.
Okay.
Golly, what was that? Man, that's some crazy stuff, wasn't it?
It's crazy.
All right, getting back.
Technical difficulties,
Yeah.
man. You like that sometimes, don't it?
Yeah. So getting back what I was saying, wearing the appropriate clothing. Well, these young ladies decided to exercise in the backyard in the morning, and their appropriate clothing was nothing on.
Okay.
They was exercising in the nude.
Okay.
And where they was exercising at, anybody and everybody could see what they were doing. So this one guy recorded everything and put it out there, and and they did it maybe 2 more days till I guess the word hit that somebody was recording and they stopped. Now you can do whatever you want to do in
Yes,
your
they
private.
found out the perverts were in the
Yeah,
building.
you can do whatever you want to do out there in your backyard. Don't make a difference. But look at your surroundings first and see how exposed you were. That's the only thing I say. When I seen that and looked at it, I just fell out laughing. Of course, they blurred everything out.
Of course.
No, they
Like,
blurred it.
oh,
It,
damn. Huh?
what it was just a blur. That's all, because everything is blurred out. And,
Uh-huh.
and, and we never got no comeback. I was trying to figure out was there a comeback or anything, but nobody said anything. The guy did it, and that was it. And now you can't find it anymore. Like it just,
Hmm.
it's out there. Once it's out
Yeah,
there
it's
in the
out
world,
there.
it's out there. But
It's definitely out there.
yeah, but you can't find it. But I thought that was funny. I'm talking about they took to a new extreme about exercising and no clothing.
Well, there's nudist colonies and so forth, and nude beaches, and different things. So that's probably where that's most appropriate.
Yeah.
However, I am a big fan if it's your space. If you looking, I guess that's your problem, not mine. Just saying.
Yeah,
Just
but I thought I'd bring that up because I know that it's hot out there and people really got to. You don't even have to exercise to be out there. You need to be careful no matter what. But
facts.
but
Facts.
I seen somebody the other day jogging at 5 in the morning. It was 5 in the evening. It was 100 degrees.
I see those people too. And every time I see them, I say, they are really dedicated. And that's all I got. I'm not one for being outside in the heat, especially at this certain age that I am now. Um, can't do it. I just,
Hmm.
I cannot do it. Hydrate all you want. It is no amount of hydration that prepares me for being outdoors in the
Yes.
heat, doing anything. I'm talking about even leisure activity. Do you want to go here? Oh, where's it at? Oh, it's outside. No,
I'm good.
I'm good. I'm good. I am not one for the heat. I have a couple of things, like I said, that I'm doing, and honestly, I asked. I was like, "Hey, can we move that inside?" Because I didn't know it was outside when I first agreed, and I'm like, "Oh, I don't know."
Yeah. You know what? I tell you, when it's hot outside, if I have to do an event outside, I make sure that I have my tent and I put together this thing that somebody said how to bring air conditioning to yourself outside in a cooler. And you got to fix it with hoses going here, the back of the fan, in front of the fan. I said, I'm going to see if this works. By God, it works. I tried it and it works. And the reason why I did it because my laptop would overheat out there in the heat. I got the
Oh.
fan to put up on the laptop, was no good. But when I made that um, air conditioner for outside my fan, that was a game changer.
But
Uh,
look at what you said about your laptop overheating. So
mm-hmm.
if your laptop is overheating, imagine what you got going on. You know what
Yes.
I'm saying? And that's funny because that's what I wanted to talk about today. Not making makeshift ACs.
Okay. you know the nickname they call me, don't you?
No.
They call me the Black MacGyver.
I can see that. I can see that. I
So,
very well could see that. I very well could see that. Um, but no, I wanted to talk about. I did a event over the weekend, and I didn't quite like I said. It was kind of condensed. I do, wellness events, all the time and so forth. And when I speak, I have more time to go into depth. But I didn't have time to go into depth with this subject, so I said, you know what, I'm gonna talk about it on the show today. And what I want to talk about is eating to live.
mm,
So we had a conversation about food. Most people, we think food is for everything but what it is supposed to be for, which is to fuel your body, right?
Mm-hmm.
Food is meant to keep you going. Food can also heal your body, right? Because if you start eating certain things and omit some other things, you're going to see how it really plays a part in that, right? So I said to them, food is used for everything. Celebrations, right? You go, you come in, hey, girl, come on, let's go out to eat, celebrate this, that, right? So food is used for food is used for celebration. Food is used for can we say to eat your feelings, right?
Yeah.
So we overindulge in food because we are bored, because our feelings are hurt, because we're happy. You know what I mean? All of these different things. But food is fuel for your body and it's meant to help you help you live better. So let's break down like, what food needs to be, right?
Mm-hmm.
We have our food groups, our macros that are most important, right? And a lot of people run from it. Carbs. Carbs are is the biggest food group as far as what you need the most of a lot of times because it gives us our energy, right? That's where we get a lot of our energy from. Now you can break down the different types of carbs because like fruit and vegetables are carbs. They have carbs in them. However, carbs is a good part of where we get our energy from. Your fat, you need a good amount of fat still in your body. And the point of that is when fat is good for repair. Fat is good for repair along with protein, right? Definitely need protein. You cannot omit protein from your diet. I mean, even if you say, "Well, I don't eat meat." Okay, still there's protein in other things, right? We can find different sources to get our protein in. So that being said, you have this food group or these different food groups that help the vehicle go, right? So I use the analogy of you got, a nice freaking F500 sitting outside. Beautiful. Beautiful. You get in that car, you jump in there to go to the gas station. You're not putting regular in there, are you? No.
Nope.
No. Not in my S500,
You putting that
right?
good stuff in there.
Premium, right? Hook me up. So, why we can't think of our body the same way, right? I mean, I don't know about you, but I'm S500 status. Okay? This here is premium. Right? So when you think of it like that, right? I am going to eat to live. I am going to make sure that I give my body the proper gas, the proper fuel that it needs to accomplish whatever it is that I have going on in my day. That's what I'm going to do, right? So, for example, I will use myself because I know myself. Um, my day can vary. So my day can be a day where I'm on the go all the time, and haven't left my location. Or my day can be on the go and I have worked here, I've left the house, saw a couple people there, taught a class maybe there. came back, maybe I had to run some errands. I'm back in the house, you know. I'm working the rest of the evening, more than likely. However, maybe I'm not. Maybe I have the day where I don't have anyone and I can do some admin, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when I start my day, I know what my day looks like. So because I know what my day looks like the day before, I'm gonna make sure I set myself up for greatness the day before, right? Let's start there. You know, you don't freaking plan a trip, a road trip without saying I need to get gas, right? So let's plan accordingly. I know what my day looks like. I'm going to start off my day. Let's just be honest. I start off my day with a cup of coffee. I don't care, judge your mama, okay? I like a cup of coffee, and I like sweet Italian creamer, and I don't need a whole lot of it. I just need a little bit in there. Bang! I can start your day with Folgers, right? So that's how I start my day. Now, after that, it's dependent on what my activity level is. That's what I mean when I say prepare for greatness, prepare for the day before, the next day. Because I may I may have three I look and just being honest, there's some of my clients that you have to move with them or they'll stop. They'll stop. They think because you stop. No, this is your workout, not mine. But I know that a certain level of activity is needed. So if I'm starting my day that way with those particular group of clients or so forth, I'm going to make sure that I eat before then because I'm going to be moving. So that particular time, I'm gonna make sure that I probably have some fruit on deck, carbs, energy. I am going if I'm and a lot of times like I gotta jump off of here a couple minutes early because I got a 11, 12, 1, and a 2. No break in between.
Yeah.
No break in between. So I make sure I made my breakfast casserole this week because I looked at my schedule. I said, oh man,
Mm.
I know I am going to be on the go. And I know I am going to need a good amount of fuel to keep me going. So I made sure I have fruit this week, and I don't eat a whole lot of fruit. That's not, but I know that I need the energy. I need that sugar rush, that natural sugar, right?
Mm.
So I have fruit, and I also made my breakfast casserole. My breakfast casserole has turkey sausage in it. It has mushrooms in it. It's egg whites. I do have mozzarella cheese, which has still has a good amount of protein in it, but it is also low fat, right? I
Ooh.
have carrots in it. I have onions in it. I have
So
green sweet peppers in it. Is that it? I feel like
no,
I'm
no, no, that's not it.
spinach.
You forgot the
Eh,
most important thing.
what's that?
Invite me over for breakfast. That sounds good.
Buddy. I'm up here thinking, what do you mean? I said egg whites and
That sounds good. I said I'm hungry now. I haven't eaten this morning yet. I'll go get my
well,
oatmeal,
see,
but
that I'm just saying. While you over there, while you playing the song, you could be. That's right, eating off of the cat because, like I said, I didn't even I had spinach and I also had basil, a little bit of basil in there as well.
hmm
And my reason for the basil is honestly blood pressure. It's been a lot of stress, so I'm making sure I'm staying good. Spinach, of course, the vegetables, right? The carrots, the onions, the garlic, right? Garlic for your blood pressure, right? Cholesterol. Little things like that. But all of that is in that power packed breakfast casserole there. So I have fruit and I have veggies and I have protein, carbs, protein. I have dairy. I have everything. So during my day, I'm like you said, I start my day off or whatever. I got the fruit or and the whatchamacallit. Just being honest, like you said, some of my clients or whatever are not always in front of me. They're online. So I can scoot off and take a scoop of my breakfast casserole that I've warmed up very quickly in between if that's what I need it to be. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I'm ready. I'm ready. I can take that breakfast casserole, just being honest, and cube it up and make cubes and pop them in my mouth while I'm driving. Yes, I do.
Ooh, Coach K.
I have to when you moving. But so what is my alternative if I don't do that? Let's talk about that. So that's just starting my day. That's just the
Mm-hmm.
start. And like I said, that's going through knowing I'm back to back to back to back. What if I don't do that, Ron? If I don't do that, one, I am going to be grouchy because I'm gonna be hungry. Okay. Two, I'm not moving as well
Right.
because you know what I'm saying. I don't really have any energy. I didn't get the carbs. I don't have the energy to go like that. You know what I'm saying? And then as far as like I said, back to the attitude because I'm hungry. I don't got the protein, enough protein to carry me on to wait to the next time that I can eat. So I done already started my day off wrong.
Mm.
See what I'm saying?
Well, you know what they say.
What if you say, what if I had a desk job
Ooh.
and I'm not moving. I'm seated for the most part of the day. All right, no problem. I can take that same meal, right? And it's a good start to the meal. It's really good. But my lunch and my snacks, I don't need as much. So I don't need any more carbs because I'm not moving. I got it to start my day with my fruit. I had my breakfast casserole. So
Right.
then I'm gonna with my, maybe I'm gonna do I don't know, cucumbers and carrots or something.
Recording stopped.
Maybe I'm gonna do that. That's what I'm gonna have for my snack.
Yeah.
Then for lunch I'm gonna do maybe chicken and a squash or a mixed vegetable melody. I don't need a carb. I'm sitting. I'm sitting. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm sitting. But then when I get off of work, I plan to go to the gym. So before I go and towards the end of the day, I'm about to get off and so forth, whatever, and go to the gym. I may eat me another piece of fruit, or that's when I may have me a little half a sandwich or something if that's what I want. I may, this may be the time if I just had to have some sort of of carb. I could have peanut butter crackers or something
Yeah.
because I'm about to get up and go burn it off. You see where I'm going with this?
Mm-hmm.
I eat for my activity level. Maybe let's take the example of the people working outside. And they're in the heat, all right, like you made the comment or somebody made the comment, when especially when you're outside and you're going to be outside, you got to start hydrating before you get outside,
That's right.
right? However, that hydration could also come from your diet. So because I know I'm gonna be outside, right? I'm going to eat more, more fresh fruits because they have a good amount of water in it. I'm gonna make sure I eat a good amount of salad because lettuce has a good amount of water in it. I may snack on celery and peanut butter. because it has water in it. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So if you have a job where you're outside and you find yourself always getting overheated or suffering from heat exhaustion or something like that, check your diet. Check your diet. Because if you eating a bunch of red meat and so forth or whatever out in the heat, that's not good. So let's make sure we pay attention to what food is for. Fuel.
Right.
Fuel. If you know that you are you're out, so you are out in the heat, you are you and or maybe you're not out in the heat, you just have an active job where you are moving a lot, well, we need to make sure that we have, maybe we get in some of those grains that have carbs in them, right? Let's make sure that we eat some rice or quinoa or something like that with our lunch. Make sure that we have, maybe fruit and something, as a snack. Make sure that we get in a good amount of protein instead of having maybe peanut butter. You say, well, you know what? Because that's people's go-to when they're looking for, like, I want to get in a little, and maybe substitute that with Greek yogurt.
Ooh.
More protein, less sugar. You know, takes you further. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Make sure that you are eating for what you need your to get out of your daily activity.
So
If you know you're sitting down, why are you eating these going and get burgers or eating Alfredo at lunch? You sitting down,
not moving.
not moving. So make sure that's for the if somebody eating chicken Alfredo at lunch, they out there doing construction
Which
because
bring
they're burning that
Yeah,
off.
which bring me to this point to ask you just one question. In the heat, and people who are outside working, we know they should drink plenty of water. That's understandable. But what food should they eat? That premium food they should eat to keep them going for 8, 10 hours a day out there in that heat.
That's what I said. So they need to make sure that, like you said, they get a good amount of carbs. So, but clean carbs. So get your those melons, like melons and I say like apples and so forth, but like melons are really good because they have a good amount of water in them.
Mm-hmm.
So if you are out there in the heat and you're snacking, get you some pineapple, some cantaloupe or watermelon or whatever it is that you like, because those foods have the most amount of fruits have the most amount of water in them. And then as far as your vegetables, you still because keep again, if you do eat heavy, it does slow you down.
Mm-hmm.
It really does, right? Those heavy foods, like you said, if you're eating your lunch, a nice like a turkey wrap or something like that or whatever is perfect because and not no skimpy one either. Make sure put a good amount put a good amount of meat on there, so that way you have that protein. Throw some spinach in there, so forth again, or some lettuce. Why? It has water in it, but it also, like you said, has a good. We all need vegetables, Now you outside, I don't know if you want all that fiber sometimes, so you do what your stomach can afford. That's
Yeah.
all I have to say on that. But when it comes to making those choices, make like we and of course, your lighter items. So we don't really want to eat stuff with a good amount of sodium and so forth in it, out in the heat. You really don't.
Right.
Yes, drink a good amount of water, but make sure at that point, that's when you're supposed to have those electrolytes, those IVs, liquid IVs, and things like that. That's
Yeah.
when you're supposed to have that stuff. Because even though you're drinking water, you want to make sure that you replace them. Now, I did just say you don't want to have foods with a high amount of sodium in them because of course blood pressure and so forth, but you do still need foods like uh and just off the top of my head, it's just like put those like pickled pickles or banana peppers, stuff like that, you know put those on your sandwiches or so forth. That's it has just the right amount of sodium to help you out in the heat, so stuff like that. But
Right.
definitely you want to have, like you said, your melons. That's a great thing to eat while you're outside. If you can, I know, like you said, having a salad is kind of whatever, but salad is really good to have, on the outside because it gives you a good amount of water too. But like you said, pair that thing with a good amount of protein. So a lean piece of chicken, turkey, if you, I mean, seafood, of course, but definitely melon is like one of those things, and I'm like, you should always have some of them. And I
Yeah.
also, think that, like I mentioned, like nuts. I don't, well, peanut butter crackers, but like nuts,
Hmm.
that's something that is always good to have because it has a good amount of protein in it, and it can help keep, help you going, help sustain your muscles while you're out there, you know, in the heat.
The heat is critical because some schools won't even let the kids go out for recess
Hmm.
because of the heat, and I think I applaud them for that. They got other projects for them to do inside. So,
Hmm.
but even schools are taking the next step with nutrition. You see that it had changed from when we were growing up.
It did. It
Oh,
did. It
they,
did.
they took it to another level. They make sure they got fruit every day. That's
Hmm.
one thing they have. And they do have yogurt there in the mornings for them for breakfast. So I applaud the schools for looking at this and doing things because, them kids out there, you think them kids can run out there all day in that heat? No, 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 no. That is
Yeah.
not true. If adults can't stand it, why you want to send your kids out there?
Well, I mean, again, I feel like, we used to play outside. We used to play outside. However, it's definitely um it depends on, like you said, it depends on the situation. It depends on what you're eating at home. And this weekend there was a young lady there. I nicknamed her Soda Pop, and I nicknamed her Soda Pop because I I asked the question, who still drinks like soda and so forth. And her hand went up so proudly. And she and then, when I said something about regular sugar, and she talked about 4 scoops in my coffee. And I was just like,
Oh,
and however, the thing about that, when I made the comment about our children, and your children usually eat the way that you eat. They live similarly to how you live because you are not saying, "Hey, do this." However,
yeah.
you are saying, "Do this." And she said, "You know what? Because she don't like to eat vegetables and so forth either." And she said, my I forget if she said her son or daughter or so forth. She said it's the same way,
Mm.
won't eat no vegetables, won't do this. And she said they not saying it, but however, they do kind of be like, well, you don't. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I mean, again, let's go back to the moral of the story, the topic of conversation. Eat to live. So you are teaching your children to live with poor nutrition.
Uh,
You're teaching your children to grow to have diabetes, high cholesterol. Uh, and you can eat every day and be malnutritioned. You can eat
mm,
every day and be malnutritioned. I spoke with a young lady the other day, and I had a girlfriend like this too. And I think that I broke her out of that habit. And if I didn't do anything else, I'm glad for that. Because she was what she called the drive-through queen.
ooh.
And I mean, but she feeding the kids that too.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot, you cannot think that you are going to roll through a drive-through every day, multiple times a day, and be getting the nutrients that you need.
No,
If so, you delusional.
that's not gonna happen.
Just,
It's called convenience. That's their part. I don't have to cook when I get home, so I'm just gonna grab
it's not
this.
about. It's not always about that. It's that you're on the go. Go
Yeah.
back to the top of this conversation when I said I looked at my day the day before.
Mm-hmm.
I know what I have to do. So I am going to prepare myself for greatness. That's all this is. And like I said, so if no one takes anything from what I just said, again, I'm an S500. I hope that you think that, and for my car people, for if maybe you're not a car person, what I am basically saying is that you are a luxury vehicle. You are of premium gas status.
mm.
When you put in pure, poor fuel, you put bad gas in your. Ain't you ever had bad gas? I've seen people, knock on wood, I don't want it to be me. I've seen people put bad gas in their car, and whoa, does it mess up the vehicle.
Oh man, tear that engine up.
Tear it up. Look at yourselves, people, as luxury vehicles, putting bad gas in your car. How you know you got bad gas? Because you overweight. Because you have diabetes. And that's not, I'm talking about the not the one you're born with, right?
Yeah.
High cholesterol, heart disease, poor circulation. I could go on. Bad breath. So many things.
She. Hey, I want to read you a comment somebody just made. You ready?
I'm ready. Are
It's
they
not.
ready?
It's a good comment. It says, if we ate the things that our Father put on this earth for us to eat, we wouldn't have many people walking around with diabetes, high blood pressure. We have to go back to the old landmarks and start eating the way our ancestors used to eat.
That's right.
They didn't.
That's
They didn't have all that stuff added to the
They did
food.
not. They did not. And one of the questions that or that I asked, and I was so glad that somebody said it. And I said, "What are the best foods to eat? What should you look for?" And we had some comments, over here. But there was one woman over here. She said the one without labels. I just did a nutritional coaching session with one of my clients and her mom because she lives with her mom and her mom does most the cooking and so forth. So I said, bring mom, both of y'all come
Mm-hmm.
and let's talk about this. And I kept repeating this statement until they finally got it. The best foods to eat don't have labels. The best foods to eat don't have labels. That's your fruits and vegetables, man.
Yep.
That's mainly your fruits and vegetables. Now, not to say, like you said, we want lean protein, all right? Because they was out there catching fish and
Mm-hmm.
killing chickens and so forth or whatever. So it may have a label on it now, but however, it didn't start like that.
Nope, it sure didn't. And I tell you something. I am when I go shopping. I am a label reader. I read what's on. Nah, don't want that. My wife said, nah, I can't eat that. And since I can't, you can't either.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Mm-hmm.
not good. But
He reads labels, and and she read the label. He said, "Well, Mom is better." And it was because it only, like you said, when you start getting into labels, and I'm not even going to get into that, but when you start getting into labels, like if it has a bunch of ingredients in it,
yeah,
let's really start looking at it. Because what we want is we want, if you have to get a packaged items, that really have simple ingredients. Simple ingredients. That's what you're looking for.
mm-hmm.
But I got into it with her over when she said that, and then it made me think because she mentioned it was the HEB brand, and I said, "Really?" And she said, "Yeah." She said the other brand, the name brand, was better, and I said, "Huh." So next time I went into the store, um, I was picking up mozzarella cheese because I wanted to make my breakfast casserole. And just being honest, y'all, I'm going to keep it all the way 100. I had to take it back to my roots because I love cheese. I really do. So I've been making it with pepper jack and Gouda and cheddar. But I had to take it back to mozzarella because mozzarella is, if you have to have cheese, one of the best cheeses to eat. It's low fat, it has the less amount of calories and so forth, right? So, picked up the cheese. Well, flipped it over. HEB brand, Kraft or whatever. I'll be daggone if the HEB brand had more fat, it had more calories, uh, more sodium. Was it more sodium? One or two. So,
Probably.
but it did. I ended up getting the name brand. It was turkey sausage because I was getting
Mm-hmm.
sausage for mine. So I looked at that and I looked at so I think I don't think that the cheese had less sodium than the other one. I don't think it more sodium. I don't think it did. But
Okay.
I know the it was less fat, so forth, more protein, and less sodium, the name brand of the turkey sausage.
For
So all I'm saying is, and I'm not, this is not, because anybody know me know I love HEB, but I need you to not get comfortable when going for your regular things. Still, because remember, they'll change stuff up on you.
mm-hmm.
Read the labels. Flip them over, read the labels.
Mm-hmm.
Read the labels. But to wrap all of this up, as I said, eat to live. Best foods don't have labels. If you are, like you said, plan accordingly. Look at your day the day before. If you know that you're busy, make sure that you have prep some things so that you can have to grab and go.
Yeah.
Not no bad choices either. You know what it is the day before. So plan accordingly, right? If you know you sitting on your behind, you don't need a bunch of heavy foods throughout the day.
Mm-hmm.
You are sitting. Eat to live. So get your vegetables. You need more vegetables, less fruit if you sitting all day. If
Right.
you moving around, Throw in some more fruit in there. It'll help keep you going. Some more fruit and fresh vegetables to keep your energy up. You said you're tired? Drink some water, eat some vegetables, eat some fruits. I bet you fit have more energy.
Yeah.
I bet you will.
Right. Somebody just chimed in and said, "What's HEB?" Well, let me tell you what HEB is.
Oh,
It's
they must
equivalent.
know. Poor
It's
souls. I'm
well,
sorry.
they're not here in Texas, so I'm gonna
I
tell them.
know. That's why I said poor
For
souls.
so it's comparison to your AMPs, your Piggly Wigglies, your Safeway, your Jewels. It's a grocery chain like that here, and HEB dominate Central and South Texas.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what we mean by that. Yeah, you can
And
come down.
HEB, if you got a real, a good one, like I live by a good one,
Mm-hmm.
and ours, we have everything. So and that's the thing. So when I say plan accordingly, maybe you do need to run into your grocery store. Hopefully you have it, like I said, ours does. But run into there and get some of them meals. Them ones that you put in the oven or in the microwave,
Yep.
or them have ready to go salads already put together.
Mm-hmm.
Grab what you need to be successful for that day.
Yes.
Set yourself up. If you don't have, you ran out, you don't have food to eat or so forth that day, run in one of them stores. I talked about that a few weeks ago.
Yep.
Run in one instead of going in through that drive-through. Get your behind out, walk into one of them race tracks or something like that. They have the salads to go to. You can
Exactly.
get that instead of a burger, instead of fries. Just saying. Tacos, we in Texas. Tacos.
Yeah, we are. We are. You can't go
So
to a place
yeah.
without seeing that somewhere. Breakfast tacos right here. Three,
That right there.
yeah,
Right there.
three for
Or
two
again,
dollars.
like
You
I said,
know.
if you have a grocery store that has those options, go
Yeah.
into those. Now, they do also usually have like the rotisserie chickens and stuff
Yes.
like that. And now my only disclaimer on those, because I will get one in the pinch, the sodium.
Yeah.
9 times out of 10 is going to have more sodium than you need. However, if you got to make a choice and this is the option, okay, you know, okay.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, definitely. Like we said, just eat to live. Eat to
Mm-hmm.
live. Like you said, if you work outside, stock up on those fruits, melons and so forth, so that you stay hydrated. It's on those vegetables that have, like you said, I know you may don't want to, but get salad. People be like, oh, celery and stuff. Okay, celery, cucumbers, all that. It has a good amount of water in it.
Yep.
It'll keep you hydrated. It will also, if you're eating fruits and vegetables and things like that during the day, you tend to be a little sharper too. You're not
Mm-hmm.
dragging like you would if eating the fries and the burger or
Yeah.
the.
Well, let me show you what I got when I sit here at the desk. I think you're gonna be proud of me.
Okay. Ah!
That's what I
Oh,
have.
good job. Good job.
So
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
working it. I'm working it.
Okay.
So
Okay. Good job. And that's the thing, like you said, whatever works for you. When it comes to your diet and eating to live for your life, for how it pertains to you, because I told people I can check the blocks. I legit can be like, oh, I need something to eat or whatever, and be like, I got this cauliflower in it. I'll eat cauliflower. I'll eat
yeah.
flour and and be like, okay, and maybe it don't have a whole lot of protein, but it does have something in there. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? And it's a vegetable. It's something to keep me going. It's something light that I can have that is not dragging me down. It still gives me energy. Because remember, fruits and vegetables are carbs too.
Yeah.
Carbs give you energy. So
Mm, mm, mm.
that's what I got. That's what I got.
Okay, young lady.
It's people. eat to live. Remember, food is not just for celebration and self-indulgence. It is to get you going, to get your body what it needs when it is trying to keep you going, to make sure that you're running as 500 status, okay? So,
Yes.
just saying. Eat to
Okay.
live. Put that good fuel in your tank, not that bad gas.
Yeah, I hear you on that. All right, young lady. Boy, that time went by quick.
I
So
got on the soapbox. I'm sorry.
that,
I
that's
mean,
that's all right. We love it when you do that because the passion comes out on what you believe in, and if you believe in that, people have no choice. I always tell them, don't mess with Coach K.
hey,
Do not mess with her.
I'm just saying. I don't think. Look, I don't think this is what you want. You want. Remember, I'm a Gemini, baby.
Oh
You are the nice
Lord.
side of me.
Yeah, they duplicate. Just
I ain't
say,
gonna say it,
I'm gonna
but
leave you alone because I'll get
I
in
packed a
trouble with
punch.
you. Yeah. All right, young lady, you take care. And once again, we appreciate you coming on the show, letting us know what's going on in the exercise world and nutrition world and all that good stuff.
Will do. And look, I'm gonna be talking about this and a whole lot of other things. Not just me. You can hear other people mouths. But on September the 20th, we have our Fitness and Nutrition Expo. It's going to be at the Moed Center. That's a Saturday from 10 to 2. So if you have questions, more, different things, we have registered dietitians. We have, of course, our different fitness formats. It's going to be good. It's going to be a good time. And we also, because everybody and their mama, it seems like is on those, on like some type of Ozempic or something like that. Of course, we will be talking about that too, and we do
Yeah.
have your professionals for you to be able to answer those questions. Your registered nurses, our physician's assistant, different things, so forth, that they can help you with those questions that you have. So jot them down. Jot them down.
Okay.
You won't just hear from Coach K. Even though I got a lot to say, I got my friends with me.
Yeah.
They gonna help
And,
you
and,
out.
and make sure you get that info to me on that dentist that was there.
Oh, will do.
Yeah, yeah. See, y'all need to come to those fairs. They're very enlightening and informative, and sometimes some people get up there
Hmm.
with them questions and they be on it.
Yeah,
So
because like you said, sometimes you have questions that you don't even know that you have until somebody asks them.
yeah.
That's why I have a guy, and I hope that he's able to come. He has some new form of pain relief for and it's covered by the VA.
Okay.
So let me tell you, I do my best to get you the resources, folks. But I gotta go. I got two
Okay.
minutes online.
All right. We'll talk to you later, Coach K.
Have a good one,
All
guys.
right. All right, everybody. That was our very own Coach K here on WSAN Radio. I mean, very knowledgeable. I like it on the things that she brings out. She brings out a lot. Really, she does. All right, let me see here. We are just